Out today, I have this really awesome welding hood. So this thing is super stylish, just overall really cool look, but it is more than just looks on this helmet. So this helmet is fully functional and it is a self-darkening helmet. So what that means is basically flip your hood down, you can see as if you were just wearing a pair of sunglasses, and then when you go ahead and arc with your welder, it's going to darken the shade on the front of this hood for you, so you don't have to worry about flipping a hood down and changing where your gun or where your stick is for your welding or soldering or whatever kind of cutting or metal work you're doing. So on the back here, it does have a fully adjustable headgear piece. So on the back, it does have for adjusting your head size. So you push in, turn. It's got a really good lock on there to really keep it in that comfortable position for your head. The top piece is also adjustable if you have a bigger head or a smaller head, so you can adjust that. As well as on the sides here, you have the ability to not only tighten how fast this hood is going to drop, but also how close or how far away from your face the front of the hood is, depending on how you have it set up. It does have a really comfortable padded front piece here to really keep this comfortable on your face. So as I mentioned, it is an auto darkening hood. So on here, there is in the top here, you'll notice a little solar panel that's actually going to help charge the battery that's in here to help keep that charged. So there's no need for any extra batteries to charge this thing up. There is one small little button battery in here just to keep everything and all your settings the where they are. On the side here, you'll notice there is an adjustment. So that's going to turn it on and then turn it to whatever setting you're doing. So if you're in an area where there's just ambient welding going on, right next to you, your shop partner's doing some welding, you can just turn that on just barely, and then if a big arc comes, it'll actually dim for you. Whereas if you're actually the one doing some welding, and I'll show you that here in a second, you'll crank this thing up the majority of the way. So then when we go ahead and look on the inside here, you'll see right here is where the little battery goes, and then you have some adjustment knobs. So you have a test button, which is actually going to test and allow you to look at what it looks like when it's dimmed. You have a sensitivity button or a knob, as well as a speed, basically, or they call it a delay. So how fast this thing darkens. So if it's something to where you don't need it to darken really, really fast, you can adjust that setting to delay it a little bit slower. Whereas if you're the one running a bead, you want to kick that setting up pretty quick. There's a test button, as I mentioned. So as you can see, I'm not sure if you can actually see it through there. You can kind of see my hand outside through the welding hood. So you can see it's basically like a pair of sunglasses. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kick this welder on. I'm gonna slide that on there. And then as I mentioned, it'll sit. Or if you just flip it, it's gonna give you this slot on where you want it to be. So I can see you guys right now. I'll go ahead and kick on my welder. So that worked out great. It darkened on its own. I don't have to worry about getting any of the arc on my eyes, and keeping my eyes safe. And when you're welding, keeping your eyes protected is one of the biggest keys for welding. So overall, pretty happy with this welding helmet, and pretty excited to get some use out of this. So check one of them out for yourself. I'm gonna get back to welding.